G'day, we're Daniel and Georgia.
And we've taken a gap year from our lives to travel Australia with our van Franklin. So if you're interested to follow along, come and join us on what we've called
The Gap Lap. We just climbed up Mount Shank and we thought about walking around it, but we've just remembered that we didn't actually eat lunch and it's 3 o'clock, so maybe we should go eat some lunch. You might be able to see over past the edge of the crater on the horizon, there's a bit of a bump there, that's Mount Gambier. And if I spin you around this way, you might be able to see the ocean, sort of the horizon, that's the ocean. That's where we're gonna go stay tonight, not just outside of Port Mac at one of my favorite camping spots. So let's go there. About 11 years ago, I was doing this track in a two-wheel drive Hilux, and while it follows the coast all the way along, it then loops back around on itself. The first 2/5 of the track are fairly two-wheel drive accessible. The second 2/5 of the track are pretty sandy, and there's a part that drops down onto the beach. And then the bit that loops back around on itself used to be somewhat two-wheel drive accessible, but as far as I'm aware, it's now been taken back by nature and you can't really get through anymore. We come along here in my two-wheel drive Hilux and we took the little turn off for the bit that loops back around on itself, but we come too far in on the other end of the four-wheel drive section and got bogged down to the diff very quickly. So we called for some help, and a few hours later my uncle turns up, and keeping in mind he wasn't aware that there was this bypass track around the four-wheel drive section, drives through all this really soft sand, finds us, and he just gets out and he laughs like, how on earth did you get yourself here? But anyway, he tows us back out of there and we go for a surf. And it was actually one of the best surfs I've had in a very, very long time. Anyway, we're back here again in a two-wheel drive, and the place that I would like to camp, because there's multiple different campsites along the way, is just on the four-wheel drive section. There's no signs or anything like that. Oh, what's this sign say? Soft sand four-wheel drive. That's a new sign. We're gonna have a look. I'm not saying we're gonna drive it. We'll have a look. Well, I'm pretty confident that we'll get there. It's got a bit soft just here, a couple of berries. This here is the hill that might cause us some issues. It's fairly firm up to about 2/3 of the way to the top, and then it gets pretty soft right on top, and then it firms up again. So let's see, a little bit of pace. Well, we showed you our campsite that we intended to stay at last night, but at about 2 o'clock in the morning we ended up moving. We went back this morning and had a look at what had gone on, and I think we got hit by a bit of a freak wave. Woke up to a pretty loud bang on the side of the van, and it was just one. There wasn't anything leading up to it. We turned the outside lights on, and Georgia was pretty sure straight away that we'd been hit by some water of some sort. I just found it really hard to believe, but as we looked around, there's water on the ground, the side of the van's dripping in water. So anyway, we got out of there. I went back this morning. It looks like there was just that one wave. Our tyre tracks are still here, untouched by any more water. From walking around to the driver's seat, my feet are still there in the ground. So I'm glad that we drove that track pretty confidently yesterday, because we had to do it in the dark. Anyway, this is our new site. It's fairly flat. Not that we're gonna have a fire, but there's a little fire pit over here. And most importantly, it's really far from the water. Our next stop is going to be, well, we're heading towards the Granites. That's where we're going to be at the end of the day today.
After a much less eventful night at the Granites, we set off again. The old Coorong Road is a 42-kilometre stretch of white metal, and while it's a slower, dustier drive than the nearby highway, the scenery, which changes throughout the year, is much nicer in our opinion. A short run on the highway took us to the Coorong Loop Road, and we stopped to look at Tea Tree Crossing. Getting in was easier than the drive out, but lower tyre pressures soon got us back on track toward our next destination, one of our favourite free camps at Narung.
We're just waiting for our second ferry of the day. We caught the Narung ferry this morning. We're waiting at Wellington to catch this ferry. And we are on our way to
Langhorne Creek.
And we're just going to see how busy it is.
And what the weather's doing, because it's looking a bit grim.
Well, we've actually called this the start of our trip. We are heading home. We're from Adelaide and we went down to Mount Gambier for Christmas. And we didn't quite get all the jobs done that we needed to do to hit the road properly before Christmas time. So we're heading back through Adelaide, stopping in for as long as we sort of need to finish some things off and then leaving. So that's why we're trying to decide whether or not we stay another night tonight between Narung and home, or whether we just go home and get these things done so that we can, properly get on the road. But yeah, I think we'll go and we'll see how busy it is, and if it's not busy then we'll park up. Looks like our ferry's nearly here. Hang on, let me flip you around. us.
Say hello. He did not want to say hello.
Look like he wanted to say hello. Too busy just yet. Camping permitted for up to 72 hours apparently. I don't think we'll be here for 72 hours, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, one right down the end. Only 4 people here, or 4 setups. Well, I reckon we should pull up here. Oh, look, we gotta drive past this.
I saw it on the way in. I was like, you must have seen that.
That's cool. It's Franklin, but green. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Franklin. Look at this. Army Franklin. That is cool.
Despite the familiar sights, this first leg of our lap of Oz has been thoroughly enjoyable and a great opportunity to test our recently completed camper rebuild after using the original layout for over 6 years. We'll take you for a tour of our van in the next video, but for now, we hope you've enjoyed our first episode. Thanks for watching.